Well, it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, I wanted to talk about and make another follow-up video about the Zach Parker and Demetrius Andrade fight. You know, this is a fight that I'm going to be talking a lot about because you guys know I'm a big Andrade fan. I just think the scenarios and the storylines going into the fight are very intriguing to me. Now, in this particular video, I wanted to discuss more so of the Zach Parker side of things because, they had their press conference recently, and Andrade was here in America and Parker was out there in the UK, so they weren't face to face, but Andrade was there virtually speaking. So, in hearing a lot of what Parker continues to say like what he said in the press conference and what he said in various interviews, the thing that I keep seeing from Zach Parker is that it seems like he's banking on the fact that Demetrius Andrade is getting old. He's banking on the fact that Demetrius Andrade is moving up to 168 for his first fight. And I don't really hear a lot from Zach Parker as far as so much like believing in his skills or believing in his game plan. And this is a bit worrisome for me from the Parker side of things because when we talk about Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade, we're talking about one of the most skilled fighters in the entire sport of boxing. You can say what you want about his resume. You can say what you want about who he has fought, who he hasn't fought, how many champions he hasn't fought. He's never beaten a world champion, as many people like to say. But the reality is, he barely loses rounds, period. Like, he doesn't lose a whole lot of rounds to anybody. He's gotten dropped by Vanes Martirosyan. He got momentarily hurt by Liam Williams. But apart from that, there really hasn't been too much trouble in his career. So with that being said, and with that being established here on True School Sports, to beat a guy like Demetrius Andrade, it's very obvious and plain to see. To beat him, you got to be a next level top tier fighter. And we don't know what the hell Zach Parker is yet because we've seen him go in there and knock out guys like Vaughn Alexander, destroy him like he's never been destroyed before. We've seen him knock out domestic level guys like Marcus Morrison, a guy that Chris Eubank Jr. didn't stop. But then we've also seen Zach Parker get outboxed and really outclassed in some ways by Darrell Williams when he was a prospect. And he was very, very fortunate to get a decision in that fight. Some people call it the biggest robbery in the history of British boxing. A robbery so gross, a robbery so egregious, and a robbery so atrocious that Darrell Williams retired from the fight right after that fight and never boxed again. So, it's one of them fights where, Parker, we don't know what he is yet. We know he's talented. We know he's good. We know he's big. We know he's skilled. But I just really, from what I'm seeing from him, I'm hearing a lot about Andrade being old. I'm hearing a lot about Andrade being smaller. And I just think if you're banking on you being bigger and him getting old to win, then you're making a big mistake because this is a guy that you really can't game plan for. Andrade, you can't game plan for Andrade. He don't fight the same way twice. He can adapt as good as anybody in boxing. Even the way he spars, like just for those of you who know and for those of you who don't know, the way he spars isn't even like most fighters in boxing because most fighters, when they get ready for a training camp, they'll spar fighters that mimic their opponent. Andrade don't do that. Like, for example, Parker's a switch hitter, and he's long and he's rangy. He might spar a short, stocky, compact pressure fighter. He spars all kinds of styles for the fights. He doesn't care about mimicking. The smart part is mimicking his opponent because the mentality they have in the Andrade camp is that they're gonna spar all the styles so that they're ready for anything on the night. That's the mentality. So I'm looking forward to seeing what level boxing IQ Zach Parker's on because it's fine and dandy to beat your Vaughn Alexanders. It's fine and dandy to beat your Marcus Morrisons and the guys of that nature. But when this is a whole other level. And yes, I get it. Andrade is moving up a weight. He's going to be Parker is going to be afforded the advantage of fighting in his hometown of Derby County at Pride Park, the home of Derby County FC. And he's even donating 10 pounds of his purse to the football club. So it shows you how much he loves football club. But I'm a little worried for Parker just by what I'm seeing in the interviews because it doesn't sound like he's going to go in there and rely on his skills. It sounds like he's going to go in there and try to fight and bang with Andrade, which, I think could be to his detriment because I know it's a different weight class. I know we don't know what Andrade will look like, but I got to go off of what I've seen in the past. Andrade is extremely dangerous, especially in the first couple rounds. You'd be better suited to take him to the later rounds and then try to press him more so than the early rounds. But, you know, it is what it is. But, yeah, man, I'm looking very forward to it. You know, Zach Parker's giving the whole speech about how he's going to do this to Andrade, do that to Andrade. I'll be honest with you, I don't really believe him. I think he is a dangerous opponent, but I don't really believe him. I think when push comes to shove, skills pay the bills. And when it comes to who's the more skilled fighter, who's the more intelligent fighter, who is the better fighter of the two, I think it's Andrade. And, you know, if Andrade wins this fight, you know the deal. Either Canelo will have to sit there and have to hear Andrade bark at him as his mandatory, or he's going to have to vacate them belts and go up to light heavyweight. And I know he's there now, but I'm saying you don't know what he's going to do after that. If he beats Bivol, you don't know what he's going to do after that fight. So you can't just sit here and say, well, Canelo's going to do this, Canelo's going to do that. He has to get the Bivol. Andrade has to get the Parker. The winner of this fight could be either fighting for the vacant WBO belt or maybe even elevated to being WBO champion. So it's a lot of layers that could happen with the aftermath. But yeah, I just want to get my little thoughts out there on just what I've been seeing from Zach Parker. Hopefully him and his team come up with a good game plan, because if they go on there thinking that size and youth is enough to beat Andrade, they're gravely mistaken. And I'm going to leave it at that. So you guys leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just a kid from Daniels. Until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on True School Sports, the home of boxing. If you made it this far, do me a favor and do yourself a damn favor. Hit that subscribe button and surely you will not be disappointed. You know, True School Sports bringing you the latest and greatest, the untouchable, you know, boxing content, interviews, news videos, breakdowns, live fight reaction extravaganza. We've got a great community of people here, boxing fans all over the world, from America to the UK to Australia and on and on and on. So join the empire today. Hit that subscribe button. Take care and God.